It's gonna be awesome, man. We're gonna do something really beautiful for you.
The rules of thumb when approaching a cover-up are you're not covering a tattoo. What you're doing is you're actually camouflaging it. The darks are always going to be there. The blacks certainly always going to be there. So what you're trying to do is work with what's there and make something brand new for the person.
It's a good choice for a cover-up because it's lighter. There's no bold, dark outlines on it.
Alrighty. We will do something awesome to really make it.
I know, I'm so excited.
Way different. Okay, see how these are like really rigid?
Yeah.
I think making the wings like that'll be really awesome.
Yes.
Why are you getting this covered up exactly?
My wedding is in September, and I want to have something that I can be proud of.
I'm kind of freaked out about how this elimination tattoo is gonna go. Covering up giant wings like this is a difficult task, and I'm only gonna have 6 hours to do this tattoo. This just seems insane.
Here it is.
That is sick.
Are you happy with it?
Yeah. It looks awesome.
Awesome.
So the cover-up part will be right in here.
I think that'll work.
Ready?
Let's go.
All right. I'm doing great.
It feels good to know that there's an artist who wants to help. My wedding is coming up, and I have a beautiful wedding dress, and I don't know what I would do if I have to have this tattoo anymore.
Made you go to koi fish.
I've always wanted one, and it just never happened.
You know, I do realistic type stuff. The koi fish itself, I'm confident with it. I had traced the cover up. The bulk of the body falls right over top of it. The only challenge for me right now is to get it done in 6 hours, you know?
All right, that's 5 hours left.
I lay down 90% of my clients just to make them comfortable and feel at ease throughout the whole entire tattoo, and that helps so much.
Two lines in and this girl's already screaming. She's moving all over the place. If she can't sit still, she's gonna have a bad tattoo. You all right?
I really don't know what Jeremy's doing in there, but whatever he's doing, it's wrong. He's screwing up somewhere. Nobody should be screaming.
All right, guys, 4 hours to go. The stakes are high for these people that come in to get tattoos because they're gonna be permanently marked forever. I mean, some of the greatest artists in the world have made mistakes on people.
I was very nervous. I'm glad that I'm not freaking out.
E-tap.
What's up, man?
How's it looking?
It's coming along good. Getting the cover up on right there. I'm gonna do it with this food dog.
Nice. You do a lot of Japanese?
No, I just do whatever the customer bring.
Oh, yeah? An ink master is somebody that could actually take on any style. Anything that the client has in mind, they'll take that idea, adopt it to their style, and give it back to the client in the most beautiful, flawless way. That's an ink master.
2 hours left, everybody.
I can't do it anymore. I can't.
You okay? Wanna keep going?
I can't.
This is absolutely the worst client that I've ever had sit for me.
I can't do it anymore. I can't. I dealt with the pain as much as I could so that I could show my family and friends this beautiful tattoo. But I had to stop. I couldn't do it anymore. It's so embarrassing.
All right, guys, 15 minutes left.
Oh my God. The clock is running down, and I am not done with Edward's tattoo. I just put all the fire around the skull, and everything looks orange. I have to go back in there and push some contrast. I'm afraid I'm not gonna have the time to do that.
1 minute warning, guys. Okay, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, that's it. Time is up, machine's down.
All right, John. Only took 6 hours.
Your assignment today was to fix the crooked angel wings. It's hard for me to comment because clearly you haven't finished here.
She had a tough time from the very beginning. Would have been awesome in the end, but we didn't get there.
Josh, why don't you come up front? You had first pick. How do you think it went today?
Great. I feel like I did have the advantage from winning the Flash Challenge. I felt like I executed the tattoo the way I needed to.
You banged out a big tattoo, you banged out a bright tattoo. I would have definitely liked to have seen you hit raw talent by picking a tougher tattoo. I would like to see you push yourself, and I would really like to see other styles from you.
Heather?
Bring it on. I know you guys are gonna tear me up. Let's go.
Slow down. You got the old veteran. He had a military tattoo.
This tattoo, your drapery and your folds in the bottom of it, you lost them.
I feel like I did a pretty good tattoo considering the circumstance, considering the pressure applied to us.
But again, we're here in a competition and you're competing for $100,000.
Affliction. How'd it go today?
I had one of the tough ones. I was able at least to come up with something to incorporate what was there already, because if I had to cover the whole thing, wouldn't have enough time.
Why wouldn't you really hit a nice, big, clean frontal dragon head instead of the mush? You look like you're Russian. The quality of your line work, the quality of your shading, you're not hitting it clean. The cover-up attempt was sick, but did it work? I'm not sold.
Shane. You got to cover up a pretty faded tattoo to begin with.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
The tattoo is solid, the cover-up works, but the actual artwork didn't line up. The head is much bigger than the tail. The tail's not big enough to propel the head. You didn't hit the mark.
Billy. You know, that eye looks like it's wet. Really well done, man.
Thanks.
Leah. How'd it go for you today?
I could have used a little bit more time to push a little more contrast where the cover-up was.
The only comment I'd had is Edward himself was a little on the orange side, and there was a lot of orange going on in this ink. So color-wise, it was hard to differentiate between Edward and the tat.
One thing you're lacking is a bolder, harder outline. I feel like you're a little bit soft to be doing such a big, explosive color piece. These are my issues.
Tommy, come on up front.
It was definitely tricky. And even in the parts where the former tattoo might show a little bit, you put wispy lines to help make it look like there's stuff going on there.
V-tat. So you had to cover up the Pegasus.
Yeah.
How'd it go for you?
It went good. Just trying to make it disappear.
You have to be able to line these things right. If you're gonna do the circles in the top of the hair of the food dog, it's gotta be that smooth motion. You're bumped, you're lumped, you're not straight, you look nervous, you are off. It's my opinion.
James, let's have you in the center. So you had, what was it, the live, love?
Yeah, all the letters. I about passed out when he came in my room and said, I wanted armor.
I can still see a little bit of the cover-up poking out between the feathers here and there.
It was tough to get it all out.
I would have liked to seen you keep everything a little bit straighter. To me, that was the part that you didn't push it home.
My job is obviously to give you what you want, but you're gonna have a cross going into your armpit.
He has your everyday idea of a dragon wrapped around a Celtic cross, which isn't exactly what I want to do.
Yeah, I wanted to have a cool transition, but that's obviously not gonna work if we're gonna have a cross.
I just got dealt the stupidest damn tattoo on the planet.
You can do one or two things. Either A, you can just go ahead and screw me out of the competition and let me do the best I can with your cross idea.
Well, I'm gonna have this forever, so.
You're getting it for free.
I want to show the judges ingenuity, but he wants certain elements and he's not gonna come off of that.
Another guy that's just not work for me.
What's gonna happen with this is so black, the lines are thick, they're not light at all. It's just not possible.
Okay.
And I'm telling you straight up, this can't be covered. I'm sorry, believe me. You know, I got 100,000 on the line.
I know.
And
I'm sorry for you. I am so screwed right now. I'm gonna have to live with this for the rest of my life. I get that you're competing, but this is my life too.
You ready for this?
Definitely. Ingenuity is very necessary to be able to do a cover-up. There's a lot of different elements, understanding the positioning of the tattoo and being able to disperse light and dark evenly so it's not so obvious where the cover-up is.
Let me show you what I got. My canvas wants a Celtic cross with a dragon wrapped around it, and I took those key elements and kind of combined them into something that would be a little bit better. This is gonna start off black and gray, but as it fades out, you see right here, it's gonna go into all those reds and everything like that, dude.
It's amazing.
The judges want you to think outside of the box and come up with a creative way to get rid of a tattoo. Not only did I do that, but I have also created a better design than what the guy originally wanted. I have to win this one, I have to.
How you feeling? Good?
I'm fine.
Samurais don't hurt? I am excited I get to do a samurai. I'm not so excited about the piece that I have to cover. What I'm worried is about the size. How the am I gonna make this fast enough, smooth enough to finish on time?
It's gonna be a long day. I don't want to approach this tattoo using a lot of black. I want to get some opaque grays in there. I want to use some kind of texture.
I'm gonna be down to the wire, I think.
I'm sure these other guys are underestimating me. It's my size right off the bat. It's something I've dealt with all my life, but that's what keeps me going. Sooner or later, they're gonna respect me for what I do.
My canvas wants a Japanese dragon to cover up his travel, which is an awful big thing to ask for on a forearm. So I'm gonna have to draw this thing all twisted up.
Trey's definitely making some amateur mistakes. He put solid orange over part of the cover-up. It's definitely gonna show through. There's no way that's gonna cover the black ink.
We're gonna do some kind of bird of paradise. The wing that's gonna cover most of it and the body are gonna be darker colors. I'm still feeling this could really go either way.
It'll be close. Ain't gonna lie.
Okay.
Either I'm or I'm pulling this off. And I don't know right yet which way this is gonna go.
From here, because it's supposed to be good, right? So
exactly.
we're gonna have to prove it today.
Yeah.
Steve's definitely tripping up with this cover-up tattoo. That bird looks horrible. Anytime you go into something uncomfortable, it's gonna show. That's part of my strategy. I'm feeling good about my bird. I'm just keeping everything the judges have ever told me and critique in mind.
I'm utilizing the old tattoo in the cover-up because sometimes if you just cover something up with a different design, the old tattoo will always show through.
I wasn't expecting to see this. Like, not done this way, you know?
Yeah. The tattoo is gonna look like an entirely different tattoo. I'm gonna add parts and I'm gonna change the look of the old one completely.
Nick's tattoo isn't really a cover-up. Nick's tattoo is a rework.
1 hour to go.
You doing the white down? Yeah, right down his nose a little bit.
The cover-up, it's not covering. My last option is black.
You know, that's one of the only places I can put a light color, you know what I mean? Because the cover-up is all like right in the middle.
I've been backtracking a little bit, second-guessing myself, so I'm kind of running out of time. I gotta go with the black, and I gotta get this tattoo covered.
5 minutes left.
Time is killing me. I'm really stressed because I don't want to compromise the quality of the tattoo, but I don't want to not finish the tattoo.
K Cutter, you're up first. What was your strategy?
I wanted to do a peacock because I wanted to show Chris some lines since he said I absolutely can't do any lines.
I'm glad that you showed you can do a nice thin outline. I think you're actually stepping up to the test.
Steve. It's a big tattoo to cover up.
That's a nightmare.
There's so much cool, thought-out detail in the head and everything else. The wings, I'm not crazy about. If you would have taken a cooler shaped wing and bring it down, and it would have had a lot smoother flow on her arm.
You covered it, but if it came down to it, you and K Cutter between the two birds, he probably got you on this one.
Well, I mean, his piece is this big, and his cover-up's this big. I mean, my cover's this big because my piece was this big. I can't add that much detail. I'd love to.
Mark, how was this for you?
The blacks were light enough that I knew I could get over it with a light color.
There's not a lot of flow. It's a big patch of cover, kind of unfinished, no attachment to anything. I'm not feeling it.
Lalo.
One of the most difficult things to cover up is parallel lines, and they took over the whole calf.
I think it could have been better had you added a little bit more flair. You got this big, dark, black ball down there. I think you're gonna put something there, then put something there.
This thing's lacking detail everywhere. I thought you were gonna murder this thing, but it murdered you.
Sarah. This guy didn't necessarily have a specific design in mind.
He really liked my paintings, so that was the first thing I kind of focused on.
Her face is so realistic, and the detail in the eye leads me to believe that you could have detailed those fingers out.
Mike.
I think I covered it pretty well. My client's first option was to do his dog, which was pure white. We all know that wouldn't happen. My first intention with the piece was to do some more hair texture, but I decided to abandon that, block in some solid color, and get that cover-up done.
If you pulled an American Pit Bull reference and you saw that this part was lighter, you would have been able to shade in like some gray, even opaque, and kind of break up this darkness. And I think that's a big design flaw in your tattoo.
Jamie. How'd you feel about the canvas you got?
Well, I think there's no question that Kay me pretty good on this one right off the bat.
Nick?
Because the wave was traditional and I wanted to utilize the wave, I just kind of stuck with that bold look.
As you know, the challenge was about ingenuity and cover-up. You can actually still see the first tattoo.
Clint. How do you feel about this?
It's a horse with wings and it was dumb, so I gave him something badass.
You really stepped up to the plate of this challenge and went yard. You totally blew our mind and made an idea 10 times better.
Sebastian. Tell me about this piece that you got.
She wanted a photorealistic beach scene. At least got her down to just a color realistic, so I could actually put a little bit of blacks in it.
I'm not a fan of these things, man. I don't know what this thing's gonna look like in 10 years.
It's gonna end up touched up.
We're looking for longevity. I can't give you a win if your tattoo won't be around to be judged in 10 years.
Ron. How'd you feel about getting this canvas?
He wanted to get rid of the soon-to-be ex-wife's name, so I just tried to get the solid as hell.
Trey. How do you think you did with this?
I didn't think it was gonna be that hard to cover up at first, and then when I started tattooing, I started worrying a little bit then.
Everything's off. The spine is completely out of whack. You weren't secure with how to position the body to cover that tattoo. You can't win this way.
Jesse, you're up. Were you happy to get this canvas?
I was happy at the fact that he was open to whatever.
I'm not typically a new school guy, but I like what you've done. Are you gonna do anything else this ride?
Definitely.
And the person who's gonna cash the check is the person that can do anything that walks into the shop. You're going to have to show other stuff.
Baby. Did you feel like you almost got 2 cover-ups?
Felt like if I would have done just one cover-up, I was just cheating on myself.
I want to do some type of dragon. I was even thinking the head like down here and his body up here.
We have 6 hours to do a tattoo, and he wants half of his arm done.
I was even thinking throw some fire on this thing.
I'm worried as that I'm not going to be able to impress these judges.
Listen, my expectations, they weren't met. I'm really counting on you on this. I am livid. Mystical Mike up my flash tattoo, and I do not want him to do my elimination tattoo. I want a line, but I want him like roaring.
I may not be able to do everything you ask for. The point is to cover up that tattoo.
Actually, the point is for me to walk away with something that I'm happy with. If I don't get what I want, I'm gonna be pissed.
My canvas, he wanted a dragon with the castle in the background, very plain looking. I convinced him to change the perspective, really push this design to the next level. The castle is dope. The more you look at it, the more you like find little, you know?
Definitely. Boy, this is some serious work. I hate to be one to call out the blatantly obvious, but the perspective on that castle is way off compared to the perspective of that dragon. At least I know I'm not gonna be in the bottom of this competition. My client was very unmovable when it came to this tattoo design, and I recommended to use blues, which are a more dominant, consistent pigment, to push over the cover-up and have more of a successful result.
What did I get myself into?
Tattoo Baby is doing a nice tattoo, other than the fact that the finger is not attached to the hand and it has arthritis.
She spent a whole season hearing that the fingers are one of the most important things. Don't f them up. She should know better.
3 more hours to go.
This is a $100,000 tattoo.
I sure believe so.
I'm planning on showing flexibility in this tattoo by squeezing in pretty much an impossible area.
We're just gonna go through and detail every single little piece in there and make this sick.
So I've got to really pull it together and make this happen.
My canvas wants a realistic baboon. It's a badass looking design, but it's a lot of work to get done with all the texture and detail in 6 hours.
Why'd you have to pick something with all that fur, man?
I could be really shooting myself in the foot here.
2-minute warning.
There's a lot that I want to do to this piece that I know I don't have the time for.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is it, people. Time's up. Machines down. No more ink.
We're done, dude.
This week, we tested your flexibility by asking you to cover prison tattoos. Joey, let's start with you. You won the Tattoo of the Day in the Flash Challenge. Do you think that your canvas selection put you in the top?
I picked out a harder tattoo to do, actually. I'm not here to take the easy way out.
There's no definition to the tattoo. You have the same texture everywhere.
You don't see any texture in there? On the
Dude, I see the same texture from the horn to the claw to the belly.
I definitely think there's different textures between
Not really. Literally, it's all the same color. Everything's the same. It's one big red thing.
Kyle.
You did a good job covering the tattoo, but your details aren't sharp. Your lines are a little weak. You fell short on those elements.
Greg.
My client wanted a badass eagle, man.
What happens in this tattoo for me is that it's flat. These colors aren't popping as hard as they could because there's no black. Had you have put black, it would look that much more dynamic. You have the ability to do a really tough looking tattoo, and you obviously can draw. You have a winning combination, you gotta put it to practice.
Jimmy. Were you happy with your cover-up?
Part of the challenge is being flexible. For what I had to do, I think I did good.
You did achieve the cover-up. The white, that was the thing that threw me for a loop. To pump this much white in there, most of the time, this will turn into almost a keloid-looking result.
I tried to get rid of all that heavy black area because I didn't want it to look like a giant 8-ball.
Yes.
Talk to me.
The things I think you lost on this tattoo are the fine details. I feel like you could have brought the details out in the mouth and the eyes a little bit better.
Jackie, what's your confidence level?
I'm definitely confident. It's bright, it's colorful, it covers it up.
The tattoo isn't vibrant and dynamic like you're thinking it is. The tattoo looks like it healed 10 years ago, and this is what was left.
James Danger.
Very little use of black in this tattoo. With my past experience of seeing tattoos heal, I feel like that's gonna show through.
Jason.
I'm just not a fan of the top, man. That whole biomechanical area, the texture and the things that make biomechanical cool, that's not in this.
Allie.
You accomplished the deal of covering it up, but from across the room, it just looks like a really large orange football.
Chris.
The design, just some wonky things about this thing. How many random people out of 10 would say that's a koala bear? You could have done a drawing that captured those qualities of a koala bear. You lost it on that.
Frank.
This is a rough one, man.
Tried to go a little bit ballsy. I knew there was gonna be a lot of detail.
It's like a ball sack. There's not one clean bit of outline anywhere. You showed me everything you can't do. Don't do things to point out your weaknesses. Do things to point out your strengths.
Maddie? How do you feel about what you did here?
For doing a dragon, so I did pretty well.
Towers are way off. The right side of the castle's taking a left.
I did it on purpose.
If you put this stencil on the skin and looked at those two towers and said, let's do this, that's not right.
That's gonna make you feel better.
Yeah. Joshua.
Part of the things that make it so hard is its closeness to the other tattoos that he has.
I mean, it is edge to edge.
Rich.
My big complaint on this tattoo is the teeth of the skull. They're just kind of non-existent.
Tattoo baby.
You got a lot to live up to in this competition, but you're gonna give a lot of people a hard time. So let the battle begin.
Mike.
This guy doesn't even have whiskers on his right side of his face. It looks like somebody stole your liner. You have no outline in this thing.
We're gonna work this out.
As long as it's covered.
I'll make Marco disappear.
It's a sea turtle.
Yeah, swimming this way.
You don't want him going to your butthole.
I'm swimming in, shorty.
We've been divorced for a long time. That's part of my past that I'd rather just move on with.
Double horseshoes, and there were some other things.
Like a barbed wire and ribbon coming down, flowers. Somewhere I'd like to put a cross, but then I want my boys' names and my grandson's name.
Okay.
All the things she wants in this tattoo is killing me.
My canvas wants an engine.
It's called the intake. See how it comes out of either side of the head?
Yep. When you go in for a cover-up, the best idea to have is no idea.
I've been building motorcycles since I was 3.
We're having to cover up your mistake. So coming with this very specific idea that might not work is just a bad idea.
Do I know a lot about engines? No, but I know about tattoos.
I feel like this canvas is really gonna f me over.
Pretty much the same thing what I drew on you.
Is there any way that you can move him over and take the Gavin here off and then do like side ribbons?
I really don't like this. The last thing I need right now is a headache.
This is his son. I wondered kind of where I could put the kids under him.
There's no way to try and peg that in.
Stop hindering me with your ideas.
I've been doing this for a while, and I have to do this to where it actually works.
I got a bad canvas, man.
Ready for this?
I get the ex-husband, Ruck gets the ex-wife. We both have to cover up a black, drunken lion. I'm a firm believer that, like, if there is a tattoo that you don't like, you can always cover it up. I really don't have any problems trying to outdo Ruck.
Did you already finish the backside of that?
Yep.
Wow, you're cooking, bro.
You know, when I saw that sketch, I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be awesome.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
It's the type of effect I want to make. My goal today is definitely to outperform Scott and Maddie.
Yeah, bun.
Now, when the competition's getting tough, that's when I plan on shining. I'm gonna stomp this tattoo.
Awesome, dude.
Thanks, man.
4 hours left.
You okay?
Oh, good.
$100,000 tattoo right here.
Hell yeah.
My canvas is cranky. She can't sit worth.
Is there any way to not rub it so hard?
I'll try to just do it very minimally, okay?
She cannot take the pain. She's kind of a puss. I'm worried that my canvas is gonna tap out and I'm not even gonna get to finish this stupid tattoo.
I don't know how much more this I can take.
Okay, it's finished, right?
I think you set the bar pretty high. This might be my favorite tattoo. What I was going for.
All right.
I really love my tattoo. I think it looks great. I think it fits your leg very well.
I love it. It hurts so bad, but I love it.
I really want to prove that I belong in the top.
You definitely haven't been taking it easy on me.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Machine's down. No more ink.
That's it. Wow. That's badass, dude.
Oh my God.
Badass or what?
That is awesome.
Holy Gentle J's tattoo sucks. The design is crap, the skull is crap.
I knew I was coming to get a tattoo today, but I didn't think I was gonna get anything close to this.
Once you go that dark, it's always gonna be a big mass of dark.
You sat great, man.
Jim, let's start with you.
You know better. For a cover-up, it's a fail.
King Ruck.
I mean, how would you? There's a bunch of different ways you could approach that. A nice black and blue rose could have been the cover-up. The horseshoes could have been behind it and banners under it.
I've had some bum canvases.
There's 60+ years of tattooing sitting at this table. You cannot tell me about a canvas.
Maddie. You got the other drunken lion.
Yeah, I actually told Ruck if we could just get those two back together and save us some trouble.
That's for sure.
The cross is curved. If it wasn't for that, I'd love this tattoo.
Straight lines on round objects are always gonna be tricky. If you're gonna try to pull them off, they gotta be dead on.
Halo.
You did a great job applying this. This is soft tissue. It can get overworked. It can look beat up. Yours looks healed.
Sausage.
The nose, the lips, spot on. I like the use of the black in the veil. I think that's what gives it a painterly look. Well done.
I don't see what he sees. I see that you put it everywhere but the place where it takes the most balls to put it, and that's in the face. The front hand, you went really heavy black. If you're gonna do it in the hand, do it everywhere. This tattoo, I'm not a fan of it.
Scott.
It was one of the bigger tattoos to cover up. I think you approached it the right way with the hot tones away from where the cover-up is. If I looked at this tattoo, I wouldn't even think it was a cover-up.
People can shake their heads or do whatever they want behind you, but the tattoo's damn good, and a lot of people that are shaking their heads aren't.
Gentle J.
I'm most confused over the hat. It just screams cover-up. There's so much room in that hat that you could have left highlights in.
Lydia.
You did show very good skills and adaptability to working with the existing tattoo. I think it's very creative. I like that it's not your standard big top hat cover-up.
You show some really smooth shading. I would like to see a lot richer black in the eye sockets because that really rich black will make that nice powdery shading look better.
Melissa. How you feeling, Melissa?
Terrible. I tried really hard, but she was very difficult to work with.
If it's an engine, it's all got to fit together. And if parts don't fit together well, then parts don't work well.
She specifically wanted new school. She specifically wanted the bubbliness.
You do not let the client drive. The second you give up that seat, you give up your shot at winning 100 grand.
Kyle.
I wanted to accentuate her hips and show some shape to her thigh.
Kyle, I'm really confused by this tattoo as well. It's a trunk with no branches and way too little flowers.
You're not a versatile artist. You are a pigeonholed artist. Cherry blossoms butted right up to a trunk. It's not real.
Whether or not I made the right choices, I like the tattoo.
If you want to do this stuff and you want to experiment, don't do it here. I cannot stand this tattoo.
All right, artists, you have 6 hours to do your tattoos. This is your last chance to prove that you deserve a spot in the live finale. Your time begins now.
Let's do it, man.
The biggest thing is going to be working with the existing piece that you have.
Okay.
Trying to turn that circle into a real circle. I'm going to retouch this tattoo instead of covering it up, and then tattoo landmarks from around the world as a collage around his arm. Time permitting, if Berlin works, then we'll do Central America. Is that all right with you?
It sounds great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I can nail every single skill in this one piece.
All right, buddy, you ready?
I'm here to win, and somebody else is going to go home because that spot in the finale is mine.
I can already see it now. Millions of people holding signs that says, "We want sausage."
That would be pretty sweet.
Sausage's artwork looks generic and very clip art and cut and pasted to me. There's no way that Sausage's tattoo is gonna beat my tattoo today. Wouldn't be a tattoo if it didn't hurt like
I know, right?
I've been kicking ass this whole time. I gotta just keep doing what I'm doing.
No pain, no gain.
When I'm done with this tattoo, you're not gonna tell it's a cover-up, and it's gonna be Screaming Scott Marshall all over it.
You have 4 hours remaining.
My strategy is not only to do a cover-up, but to place a really nice tattoo right next to it and make them both work together.
I'm being more meticulous than I've ever been. These flowers are my ticket to the final 3.
2 hours remain, everyone.
I'm doing something bold by putting a lot of bright canary yellow into this piece to really just push it over the top.
Saucy.
Have you seen Scott's and Maddie's?
Scott's, you can still see the cover-up right through it.
Oh, no. Using yellow as a cover-up is a huge no-no because you can still see the old piece underneath it. This might be enough to send his ass home.
30 minutes remaining, everyone.
This is the highest the stakes have ever been in this competition. If I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna go down fighting.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time is up, machine's down, no more ink.
Yeah.
Take a look.
Wow.
Oh, it is amazing.
Holy dynamic.
I love it.
Great. Yeah, things going.
Completely.
Maddie's cover-up just looks like a big blue blob. Sometimes he does good, and sometimes he does crap like this. It's time to get rid of him.
Sausage, you reworked Melissa's tattoo.
To try to do a cover-up and belt in a ton of black didn't make sense. So I decided to add something that's a lot more bold and stylish to the airplane itself, and then build a sleeve that he can add on to at any time.
This is actually going to be very hard for people to work off because the quality is really high. This is showing versatility. To come out here and show, I just did these big bright flowers, now I'm gonna do this really fine line detail and really show some nice soft black and gray is top notch.
Scott.
Overall, the color palette is strong, really solid, clean application. It has your signature all over it.
Maddie.
The same size roses, it's a bit much because everything the same size makes a mosaic look. If you stagger the sizes with bigger leaves and then maybe little buds, you can get more bang for your buck and more dynamics. Looking at this, the eye is just totally drawn to the blue spot.
Halo. This canvas was completely open, brand new tattoo, yet you just did this.
The tattoo overall is a beautiful tattoo. The water droplets on the petals, super glossy in HD, but then you have areas in the flowers that are very flat. Those pistils, there's no outline on one side of one. The outlines don't connect, they're just kind of here and there. You didn't put in the same level of work throughout. You didn't make it as interesting as you made it before. Today, these artists are gonna be covering up hate tattoos. They really have to put everything aside and do the best cover-up they possibly can.
What's going on? What's the story behind that?
I was just brainwashed when I was younger.
Yeah,
and when I got older and had kids, I realized, man, what the hell? I'm trying to do a 360.
Well, I'd love to help, man. That's what
yeah,
I'm
I
here
appreciate
for.
that.
Right on.
Ingenuity is always gonna play into the cover-up. You should never be able to pick out a section where you know the cover-up is. That's the biggest fail.
I wanted a cross with a helmet coming off of it.
That's basically a soldier's cross.
Exactly.
My biggest concern about this tattoo is that it's really large and some weird tattoo going right through the middle. She wants a soldier's cross, but it's not big enough to cover this thing. Anything else if this didn't work for you?
No way.
If this were in my shop, it would take me 3 days to come up with a design to cover it properly. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Color works great for cover-ups.
Anything that'll get rid of it.
Let's see here. There's no way I could do just the Confederate flag and leave the Grim Reaper because they're so close together. If I do one, the other one's gonna stick out like a sore thumb.
Maybe if I did like a big skull up top here, I might have to get super crazy because I got a dark streak going this way. That's a big arm too.
I'm gonna have to do a half sleeve to cover up these tattoos. You know how hard it is to do a half sleeve in 6 hours? It's tough.
I only got 6 hours to do it, so I don't want to end up doing something that's not finished.
I've got a couple of different options for you. My canvas wants a soldier's cross and a 6-pointed star to cover this thing up and pay homage to the people that she offended with the original tattoo. The soldier's cross is doable. However, I've got to do it at least that big. So I did one that I know will work, a World War II American Eagle piece. With the 6-pointed star, I know it's a totally different direction.
Get it.
Really?
Yeah, badass. Let's get it, man.
Luckily, she just wants to get rid of this swastika. She hates it, and she's willing to do whatever it takes.
Why did you get the Nazi tattoo to begin with? Is that a question you don't want?
Trying to fit in. Got mixed up with the wrong people and did a stupid move when I was 16. Been carrying that around for 20 years. I don't think I truly understood what it meant, and it disgusts me that it's there. I want to turn a negative into a positive. It's caused so much turmoil in my life. To have this thing covered up, man, it's almost surreal, you know?
Dude, that's cool. I'm glad I could be the one to do it.
Stoked, completely.
When I saw it from across the room, I was like, I see a flower right there.
The canvas I gave myself was probably one of the hardest cover-ups in there because it's so big. But I know that I can cover anything with a flower.
I do flowers all the time, so it wasn't really a far stretch.
I've designed all the petals to curl in, right around that circular shape as part of the anarchy symbol.
I can just kind of keep all my darks on the tips, and I can use the shadows that are already there.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it's gonna get
Really nice tattoo. Let's get this over with and let me get to the damn finale.
Still feeling it?
Oh, I ain't scared. I like doing cover-ups. I do big tattoos, and this is right in my alley.
I'm doing a huge dual arm cover-up. There's no room for lollygagging. It is balls to the wall from start to finish.
So what's the deal with the Confederate flag?
Oh man, 19 years old. I don't know if I really have an answer as to why I did it. Just thought it was a cool tattoo. It's much appreciated.
Trying to take care of you, man.
I'm a father of 5 kids. I want to be a better role model. It's time for the tattoo to go.
I think we got a winner, no problem.
Yeah.
3 more hours to go.
Been trying to get rid of about 20 years, man. When I first got a tattoo, I was like 13, 14 years old. And like an idiot joined the Aryan Brotherhood. That ain't cool. That's not where I want to be. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're red, black, brown, yellow, green, whatever.
Unfortunately, I've been a victim of hate. When I was wanting to get an apprenticeship to learn how to tattoo, I was told that the color of my skin was going to hinder my chances. To be a minority, it's actually driving me even more to do a killer job.
So how'd you get rid of the swastika?
I put a little chinger in the gravestone, burying the past, so it's perfect.
Can't wait for all the stress to come off my shoulders.
To be able to help this guy change his life is a complete honor.
Ain't nobody gonna beat this one.
Let him know how it's done.
Got some tricks to pull off. This tattoo isn't working out as good as I expected. There are a lot of wonky lines that are just popping up out of the blue. It is not covering the way I wanted to.
My goal is to make it look like a badass tattoo, even if it wasn't a cover-up.
And there's a couple spots that get a little bit rough.
I've never been to the bottom before, and I'm not ready to go now.
Did you go to art school or anything?
Nah, I'm a high school dropout.
Did you have a formal apprenticeship?
No, I did not.
I got the easiest cover-up in the room, but I can't just do a little tiny zombie peeking out of the top of this guy's sock, so I'm doing a giant photorealistic tattoo, and I screwed myself.
Too big or go home.
There is not enough time in the world to do this tattoo.
Is art something you've always been interested in?
Yeah.
It's not helping at all. That my canvas is asking me about 1,000 million questions per minute.
What's the biggest thing that has improved your artwork?
Kept at it, honestly. Half of the battle is distractions. Why is the sky blue? Why do I have a beard? Why are boobs good? Shut up and let me tattoo.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Time's up. Machine's down. No more ink.
Awesome.
I ain't ever gotta look at that ugly ass thing again, man.
It's a pretty tough looking tattoo.
Yeah, it is.
Wow, that is sick.
Maddie's tattoo has a lot of flaws. The hair looks like spaghetti, and he went so big, he's handing in an unfinished tattoo. He dropped the ball, and I couldn't care less, as long as I'm not the one going home.
Today, you had to show ingenuity by covering a hate tattoo. James, you're up first. You chose a pretty large cover-up for yourself.
First thing I saw was a floral pattern that would fit her and just get rid of that huge tattoo without being really dark.
You've given this woman something very feminine, something very beautiful. Of the day, this woman's life has been transformed more dramatically than anybody else, and she has you to thank for it.
Feeling confident about putting this many lines into this type of skin in this area, knowing that you're up against 6 hours, was a ballsy move. This panned out for you in that sense. You definitely achieved the cover-up. The shading that you have going from dark to light, you disperse it throughout. And that way, it's not an obvious cover-up. It's a strong tattoo, and it's a lot of tattooing in a short amount of time.
Clean. You actually did 2 cover-ups. Did you feel that was a disadvantage?
I mean, it wasn't easy. His arm's as big as my leg. And, you know, the tattoos that he has, just the flag itself is pretty good size.
The upper jaw, if you just draw those teeth and then cover it with the fabric wouldn't pull directly back like that. It would stick out. But as far as the cover-up goes, you did this client a service. You had to cover up 2 tattoos, and I think you achieved it strongly.
Maddie, you got one of the
easiest cover-ups on the
one of the
planet.
easier ones. What did you think when you got this one?
Well, I have to do another zombie, so I had to come up with something completely different, and hopefully I gave you guys something we haven't seen yet.
The problem here is that it is massively unfinished.
Anthony.
You have so many nice details in the hair. You have really fine, fine lines. You create this kind of ratty feeling, but it still shows perfect line work in there. This thing really, really shows strong today. You did a great job.
Christian.
You have some definite challenges in the eagle. Things that really give the eagle the power are gonna be the talons in the head. You just did them too small. You want to lock them in and make it powerful and strong. It gets more of a turkey feel than it does an eagle feel. The other thing is, it's two different shaped wings completely. The one closest to us is a big fat square that doesn't have that strong taper, and then the back wing is right. It's got that long feel.
You've only got so much time to make every line work, and a lot of decisions I had to make on the fly to cover the straight lines going out. It is what it is, but that's why I did it.
But if you had the time to do the non-important flower, that time could have all gone into your main design of the cover-up. At this stage of the game, everything has to be tight because you guys aren't making big mistakes, so it's the little ones that get hit.
You say you wanted to go with a surfer, right?
Yeah, a California sunset with a wave and a surfer, you know, with the hang 10.
Water is something that I don't tattoo well. So are you cool with black and gray oil color?
I would prefer color.
On top of that, the old tattoo is extremely big, extremely black, and gonna be hard to cover. The biggest thing is that doing all of that, I don't know if we'd be able to squeeze color in.
My main thing was the sunset.
Right.
You know, that's why I wanted a color.
Last week, I barely made it by. This week, if I can't get my canvas to compromise, I could go home. If we do the shark, it'll be just the shark.
I want the surfer.
Cover-ups are a great test of technical application because you're basically playing a trick on the eye and you're camouflaging an area. And you have to disperse the dark as evenly as you disperse the light so that the cover-up's not obvious.
Nikki has given me the guy who wants the surfer.
He looks so, like, serious.
But my biggest issue is my design. I can't get this water right, and I'm still trying to figure out how I'm gonna hide this old tattoo completely. The guys, we're already screwed. The girls keep gaining momentum, and it's gonna be hard to stop them at this point.
All right, guys, 5 hours remaining.
Oh, your skin takes ink like butter.
Oh, good. I came into this competition needing to prove exactly who I am. And with every single day that I'm here, I get more and more comfortable in my own skin.
Are you coming to Fort Lauderdale Handcrafter or what?
I hope so.
Dude.
Now's my time to shine and prove that I can win time and time again.
My canvas wanted a bunch of different elements, but after talking and consulting, I'm gonna do 2 realistic 3-dimensional roses and a nice little skull.
Ooh, trying to one-up me with some roses, huh?
You doing roses?
Yeah. Damn it.
As a realism artist, I'm excited about this. If I were at home, this would be right up my alley.
2 more hours, guys.
This tattoo is big and really dark. There's no way I can win Tattoo of the Day with this cover-up.
How are you guys doing?
We're getting there.
What was under there?
Big piece of tribal.
I see.
My biggest concern right now with this tattoo is to not make it so dark that it looks like another huge piece of tribal.
Some of these flowers going for the other side now.
What color are you doing them?
I'm going for red, because that way I can do the butterfly blue and that blue little one that you got here to match with the other one.
Oh, okay.
And then you got like hot and cold. This canvas is awesome. She's letting me do my thing and just reworking this tattoo and adding to it. Looks beautiful, I gotta say. Nikki's thinking that I'm gonna drop the ball with this tattoo. Her strategy is definitely not gonna work today.
This is lovely.
Gion's not even really doing a cover-up. He's just reworking what was already there. It definitely doesn't meet the challenge of a cover-up.
Final hour remaining. Final hour.
This season, the girls are kicking ass.
That's great.
Stick together like girl power.
Nikki and Kelly are crushing it. I can't wait to see how bad the guys are up.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Time's up. Machine's down. No more ink.
Wow. Holy crap, I wasn't expecting that at all.
Boneface's tattoo looks like crap. How could he stay here after this?
Nikki, let's start with you.
In the sense of a cover-up, you nail it. You hit technical application here really well. You apply the ink to the skin in a way that gets rid of the underlying tattoo. That real deep, rich black that you get down there puts so much depth into the tattoo. And when you have those leaves, you can balance the black everywhere. Then it always camouflages nicely and somebody can't go, oh, there's the cover-up.
It's very beautiful, and technically, it is pretty perfect.
There's no trace of the existing tattoo, and that was a massive tattoo that you covered up. Great job.
Thanks.
Ryan.
Beautiful design, beautiful tattoo. I love to see this really classic, iconic imagery.
I would have definitely done the flames in color. I feel like the shadows with the darkness at the top of the flames, it's a little less clear than it could have been.
Kelly. This does not look like a cover-up on any level. This is my favorite tattoo from you so far.
I think it's perfect. Your technical application is flawless in this.
Gian. Instead of covering up, you did a reworking.
Just try to fix it and make a pretty tattoo. Try to make the best of what I had.
Is it fair that everybody else covered up an existing tattoo and you reworked one?
I feel like this was the most responsible choice to make and would have been a really, really hard one to cover.
Nate.
Nate, I definitely think you got a tough one, man. This was a legit cover-up. You do have a lot of dark in here, making this tattoo really tonal, but because this was the cover-up and you use that little glow behind the head and then the dark behind that, it does all kind of balance. One thing that does bother me is that right wing, you didn't lift your design high enough so that the piece of the old tattoo wasn't poking out of your outline.
Tried to keep it real symmetrical, and I was afraid to throw it off.
Boneface.
You're consistent with application. It's just here you're really challenged artistically. The first thing is the fluidity of the water. It's very stagnant and stiff. It should flow.
The water that's flying, to me, they look a bit like teeth. The hands are really funny to me. And this board that doesn't really look like a surfboard.
Kevin.
At first glance, the tattoo's nice, but why, again, no outlines today?
I'm a realism artist. To put lines in something realistic doesn't make sense to me.
I never do a tattoo without an outline. It looks great in the photo now, but in 1 or 2 years, all those reds are gonna bleed together and all that detail is gonna go away.
If you're not willing to do those outlines, you're gonna have a rough time, because the outline in here is always gonna win. Today we're testing detail, and the way that detail works in cover-ups is understanding how to actually create a cover-up that doesn't look like one. Wow. I don't want to see big black or dark spots, and they don't need to do a tattoo 6 times bigger than the cover-up to make it disappear.
Shrink it by like 20%, because you also see, because of the shape of her body, your circle doesn't stay a circle.
My trouble was that if I shrunk it, the whole body
It's gonna get real dark.
would be black.
So then what if you just literally just move the whole thing down a bit?
I tried that before
And it was just too much on her butt?
also, and yeah, it was too much.
Okay, so then straight up, lose the circle.
Don't do a circle?
Just don't do the circle.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
So how bad do you hate this?
How bad do I hate it?
Do you think that's a good placement?
Yeah, it's where the dark is, right?
Typically, when you're doing a tattoo, you want the brightest, most shining part of the tattoo in the center, not the darkest in the center.
In the little spaces in between the kanji, let your skin rips come through there. See how this is lighter? Use that to your advantage.
Kind of have to pull out some tricks and see what I can do to make it work.
So the problem I'm running into is like I can't pull it through like the center of the tattoo because it's gonna start getting in the way.
The rips don't have to be that long. Little guys, little.
Okay. Skin rip wouldn't be my first choice, but I'm happy with it. There's other ones I wouldn't have wanted.
Woo! Look at those crispy lines. Those lines look good.
I hope so. There's a lot of them.
The most difficult aspect of this tattoo is just getting it done in 6 hours, because the cover-up itself will be the body of the owl, and then proportionately the wings are gonna have to be this big. I'm taking a huge risk right now, and if it doesn't pay off, I'm gonna be
There's one tattoo on the girls' team that is straight.
Name names. Name names. Who is it?
What is her name? Cheetah print girl.
Holly doing another owl?
Yeah, it's bad. Bad. Holly's design is screwed from the beginning. The stick growing out of this woman's ass.
It feels like it's like right on my butt crack. It almost is.
Girl, I have no idea what you were going for.
4 hours remaining. 4 hours remaining.
Yeah. Did exactly what you told me not to do.
Just the most exquisite listener I have ever met in my life.
I want to prove to myself that I can do this, that I can do a good tattoo, a solid tattoo. Throughout my career, I've been told that I won't get that far and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So am I brave enough to step forward and be vulnerable? And I think that is a huge thing for me.
Intruder alert.
Well, this turd boy? No, you're supposed to respect your elders.
I show respect to those who show me respect, regardless of age.
I'm attempting to do a 12-hour half sleeve in 6 hours. If I don't have the pedal to the metal the entire time, there's not a chance in hell I'm gonna finish this thing.
Dude, I'm not here for the bullshit. Not today. I'm over it.
That's 2 hours. 2 hours left.
Shit looks solid. There's a cover-up in there? What? I think the girls underestimate my ability as a tattoo artist and gave me the realistic skull because they wanted to see if I could do it. I could do this with my eyes closed. Thanks, girls. Home run. My parents are off the boat. You know, I'm first-generation American. I come from a long line of artists on my dad's side. Like, if you go back to Italy, like, everyone in my family is an artist, you know? They support me in everything I do. I feel blessed.
I think that's so important.
And I just hope I can do the same for my kids.
There's badass tattoos being done here.
No, you got an eagle that's too big over here that's really an owl. You got a way too big a face line.
Oh yeah, honey? You want me to tell you?
And you got it. No.
Oh no, don't hit me. You got a tree branch growing out of an over there.
Yeah.
And you let her tattoo that?
Yeah.
You better be careful about your coach, because that's what he's all right with. I'm just tattooing.
That owl's got to be sitting on something.
My owl is flying.
Yeah, your owl's gonna fly right out of here with his luggage.
Oh.
Gonna need 6 more hours, at least 6 more hours to finish this.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Machine's down. Time is up. No more ink. Jason.
You do a great job really punching in the blacks. A lot of detail, not only with line work, but with your directional shading.
I think you gave this guy a reason to take his shirt off again. Great job.
Yeah, thanks.
Jake. The cover-up was in a very non-organic shape, and you managed to create something organic here using that shape, which is very cool.
I like the fact that you're able to work the skin rips in between kanji. Working the way that you did to camouflage it in really worked to your advantage.
I think it's the best critique I've ever gotten.
Pawn.
What up? Hey, guys.
I love this thing for the simple fact that it looks like a straight-up tattoo. You kill this thing with simplicity. I love the ghostly image in the mirror and the way that the cameo looks. As far as hitting a cover-up, as far as making a sticker, as far as somebody not knowing what's there, you're able to really hit a softball out of the park.
I hate him. I hope he goes home.
Stop.
Cam.
There's a lot of great work in this, but the longer hair on the chinny chin chin than the hairdo is a bummer. It needs the power of the mane, or it's a lioness. There's just this balance here that gives an unfinished feel to the overall look of the piece.
That was like a big thing with like the time constraint.
Women's team, you're next. Danny.
The approach that you take towards doing the cover-up, creating stone to use the texture for cracking is great. The power of the unicorn is going to have that strength of the horn because that's its magic. This guy's only a little magical.
It looked like an ice cream cone.
Barely, or was there a
smashed
horn?
on that horse's head.
Was there a horn?
There was an ice cream cone.
Laura.
It's a really clean sticker tattoo from you. As far as it serving for a cover-up, it definitely does its job. As impressive as the tattoo is, I've seen it a bunch of times. But soon enough, you're gonna have to...
Oh, I'll give you something else. Trust me.
I'll send you a letter from the finale. It'll probably be pretty cool there.
Good job, Laura.
Holly.
You achieve the cover-up fine. It's the rest of the tattoo that falls short.
I hate this tattoo. There's a tree branch growing out of this woman's ass. Also, there's a back that is creasing.
That is swelling.
No, what is swelling is the surrounding area within
What is swelling
maybe
is your head right
an
now
eight-
thinking you got us when you're gonna go home.
Really, you're talking about big heads right now, Sorry, girl, but if I had that tattoo, I would have to cover up another cover-up.
My canvas loved it, so I'm gonna stick behind it.
Do
I'm
it.
behind you with it too, so.
Somebody's gotta.
Janelle.
You did a very flat, non-detailed image. Your outlines are pretty shaky in here. The outline on the top of the head, the outline around the bottom of that black hook on the leaf on the bottom. There's challenges left and right on this bad boy.
We both could have banged that thing out with that much detail in 2 hours.
I think that you're trying to save some people.
I'm not trying to save anybody because I'm not blind right here, man.